Everybody who goes through the taco training takes the class, and then for the last 15 minutes, we go through a stream review rubric with them. All 9 other participants fill this out for the one person that we're doing. So they are technical. This is the areas. Technical, as in your camera, your lighting, your overlays, the graphics, the panels. Did OBS work? Did your plugins work? Did the game work? And when it comes to the actual technical side, what was the most captivating part of the stream? And did anything technically distracting happen that would have caused you to leave? That's section 1, technical. Section 2. On Fridays, I teach a class where I take content creators through a leadership development and creator development class where we talk about how to listen to God, how to discover your vision, how to find your audience, how to talk to people, how to prioritize your life, things like that, so you can be a more effective creator. It takes 10 weeks to go through, and we do peer-to-peer evaluations while teaching people, teaching creators how to be better at what they want to do. And so part of that, this thing here comes from one of those. It comes from an actual class notes that I was teaching through. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it because this is one of my favorite things to share. I think it's in week 1, and it is so critical. I remember when I heard it for the first time, and then as I've learned and as I've moved through, as I've gone through life and pastored a church for 16 years, as I've had 4 kids, I've been through all sorts of other stuff. As I started this channel almost 2 years ago, these are universal truths that when I've seen that when they haven't happened, that's why things aren't getting done, and when they have happened, that's why they have get done. So let me just kind of go through them piece by piece, part by part, and talk about, from a creator perspective, how you get stuff done. So let's start with this. Who's this for? We'll start with, this is for any content creator who wants to be more effective on their channel or in their whatever creation, and they have a team or they have a group or they have some kind of system by which they can get feedback and talk to people, right? So if you have a creator team, or I have a Stream Dream Team, hit SDT, Stream Dream Team, and you will see the members of my Stream Dream Team that help me out. And in the taco, we have a board. We have an actual board of directors and stuff. We have volunteers. And so if you're at that kind of point where it's not just you, but it's you and you're thinking through this kind of stuff, and this actually works if you're alone, but you've got some people to talk to, this is what this works for. So I'll try to keep it to an individual perspective and to more of a corporate perspective. So if you want to get stuff done on your channel, right? I've got this to-do list right here, and that's just for me, man. If you want to get stuff done on your channel, how do you get things done? Number 1, what you talked about gets done. What does that mean? That the things that you keep bringing up on your channel, your mission, your vision, your purpose, your audience, your reason for being, the plans you have for the future, the network you're trying to start creating, the songs you're going to be singing, the things you're going to be drawing, the emotes you're going to be doing later. The things that you talk about are the things that get done. If you're having meetings with your dream team or with your board or whatever, the things that are on the agenda is what's going to get done. I've been to plenty of plenty of board meetings where they talk about the budget for an hour and a half and they never get to the actual mission of the church. And then they wonder why the mission's not moving forward, why evangelism isn't happening, why discipleship is struggling. It's because they're not talking about it at a leadership level. They assume it's going to happen, but they're not talking about it. And so the first thing I would say to you is, if you're trying to get stuff done, like you're saying, how do I grow? How do I get more people on my YouTube channel? How do I get more followers on Twitter? How do I get more, connections on Discord? Are you talking about it? Does it come up regularly? Do you ask people who are on your channel, like say, can you please share? Can you please go to my YouTube channel? This is a new video that I made. If you don't share it and you don't talk about it and it doesn't come up, then it's not going to get done. So that's the number 1. Second, what gets trained for gets done. Okay, so this is a big thing. If you want to be a better creator, if you want to move your channel forward, if you want to move your creations forward, if you want to grow your YouTube, if you want to do whatever it is, then you have to be teaching yourself and teaching others how to do it. If you say, you know what, I want to grow on YouTube, I want to make better videos, and then you don't watch videos and learn how to make better videos, but instead just hope it happens, it will not get done. If you say, I want to be a better streamer, I want to have a better schedule, I want to be able to meet more my number goals or whatever it is, then to be able to say, I'm going to teach myself how to keep a schedule. I'm going to teach myself accountability. I'm going to teach myself how to do a budget, because I'm going to go learn that. If you train for it, it'll get done. But if you just assume you know what you're doing, you assume it's going to happen, you assume you're already smart enough, you're going to stay where you are. You have to train for it. In the same way, and I'll say this to a team leader, if you're a team leader, if you ask somebody to do something, you can't assume that they know how. They will say, sure, I know how to do that. You can say, listen, dude, I want you to go and do a website. Can you fix the website? Cool. What are your qualifications? Person's like, well, I've been using the computers for a long time. I like making websites. Neat. What have you trained in? What's your training? Oh, I haven't done much. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I take $100 out of the budget and I will give you this course on how to do basic web-based, how to design a web page. If I train you for it, you're going to have a 10,000 times better website than if you just trusted someone to do it. In the same way, for you, is if you want to get something done and it's serious to you, take a course, watch something, do something that makes you smarter. I had a commitment for a long time. I kept it for a year and a half, and it's been a little less because I've been busy out of my mind. But for a year and a half, I made a point of saying every day I will do something to improve my channel or learn about how to be a better creator. And whether that meant updating my about page or changing all of my overlays or watching Harris Heller or watching, Stream Scheme or whatever that is on YouTube, I made a commitment to say, I'm going to become an expert at streaming, at content creation, at whatever. Because if I'm going to be mentoring people and talking to my audience and the people that I actually care about, that I want to be able to, serve, I better dang well be good at it. All right. Number 3. What gets measured gets done. This is a big one, man. Tell you what, if this is one that people are afraid of. They're afraid of numbers. And the problem with Twitch or with streaming is that there's a lot of numbers. You go on to your stream, analytics, right? Your stream analytics, they're daunting. They're scary. But here's the thing. If you choose to ignore the analytics and you choose to ignore the measurements, you choose to ignore the numbers, and you just go, you will never be able to grow. You'll never be able to make goals and push past things that you're stagnant, where you're stuck. If you want it to happen, you need to have a goal and a measurement. So what's your goal right now? What's your number one thing you want to do? Say, for example, you want to, definitely struggling with data, even though I know they're so important. And it's true. It's hard. Right now, as I stand here, I have no viewer count anywhere. I don't know who's watching, don't know how many are watching. I'm not looking at it because it freaks me out. However, after stream, during the week, I'm going to go take a look and see where my peaks were, where people started leaving the stream, whether or not the advertising actually affected things, because I want to know. And it hurts my feelings. It really does. I'm like, man, I'm really crappy. Only 10 people watch this stream, and I feel like I should. It's usually 20. What did I do wrong? Or as soon as I started the game, everyone left. Or when I started talking about that subject, and then I took a break, they just evacuated. It freaks me out. But if I don't pay attention to the numbers, then how can I know when to change, how to improve, how to manipulate things? Doesn't matter what you want to do. And even in the church, even in evangelism, you're like, well, we shouldn't be counting numbers in the church. It's not about numbers. Well, then you should tell that to the book of Acts, which all the way along counts until they just weren't able to count anymore because it was in the thousands. What gets measured gets done. My entire job is measured and it has targets. There's nothing There is nothing which focuses the mind more than having targets. It's true. And if you're part of the taco team, and again, there's the taco tribe, there's the taco team. Part of being part of the taco team is hitting the taco targets. Now, if you don't know any what I'm talking about, go to the website, the one of the Taco Network, thetaconetwork.net, and you'll be able to see, there it is, just Taco Network, taconetwork.org. I wasn't even close. And you will be able to see on there a section where you understand the taco targets. And what that basically is it's a way for us to gamify or to help creators keep to their own, what they want to do, and to grow as creators in a way that tracks. So every quarter, we're going to go ask our team, did you do this and this and this? Have you kept up to the points? Have you done the things that you wanted to do? Because we're going to track and we're going to hold accountable. Now, along with that comes the creator liaison. The creator liaison's job is not just to track the numbers, but to find out what's going on in the hearts and the lives of the creators, to say, hey, I noticed that you haven't been streaming. I noticed that, you've been sort of bummed out. I noticed that, that you're not as active in the Discord. What's going on? How are things going? We have someone actually built in, who is the creator liaison, and his job is to love creators. And part of that job is the measurement of effectiveness of the team from a numerical perspective. It's a big part of what we're doing. Those passages, the numbers are follow up and not the focus of the work, though. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just, yep. They're not the focus of the work. They are, this is how many came, but it's still there. Okay, Number 4, what gets budgeted gets done. I'll ask you this question. If you're serious about streaming, serious about content creation, you're serious about what you're doing, are you giving money to it? I think the greatest example of that is to simply say, when you make money from your stream, if you say you get enough subs and you finally get your $100, or somebody donates some money and so they like what you're doing, or you get your little biddies and they end up coming, or someone buys one of your artworks or one of your songs and it comes in, what happens to that money? What happens to that money? Does it go straight to pizza? Does it go straight to, I get to buy myself a treat now because I'm a good boy? Or do you say this gets rolled into the channel? This goes into a new microphone. This goes into a new camera. This goes into a new tablet. This is I want this to get better. Therefore, it needs to have money. Or are you more along the lines of, I don't have enough, I'll never have enough, and my quality will never go up, but you're not actually putting money away. Even if it's just $10 a month, even if it's just a little bit, you throw your change into a bucket that just says, my channel or my career, my singing, my CDs, whatever, my art, what gets budgeted gets done. So if you really are serious and you want, say you think your logo sucks, my logo sucks. What am I going to do? You start budgeting and you say, I need money for a logo. That's important. I'm going to put money into it. I'm going to ask for money for it. I'm going to, when I get a little bit of extra income, it's going into the logo budget. So I can go onto Fiverr and I can get a new logo, right? It's the question is, do you want to, if you want to get it done, not only do you need to talk about it, not only do you need to do the training to know how to do it, not only do you need to measure it so you know your goals, but you got to give it some money. It needs some resources or it'll never get done. Born Again Gamer says, I created a spreadsheet and my stream money goes into its own PayPal account and I track what I buy and what I earn, and decided a little while ago to share that budget with my crew on Discord. That's great. That's so good. PayPal is so helpful for that because it's its own little thing in the universe there for streamers, and it can really be its own locked in account, right? You can really keep it there. That's cool. Really, really smart. Really, really smart. Then I said, with my first payout, I got 2 things, a Bean Boozled, and gave away $20 and get Steam cards. Perfect. Exactly. But I would say this, Donnie, and I'll just let me push back and simply to say, were those the 2 best things that you could have got? Or is that just, you're like, I want to do something with this so I can build some buzz, I can build some things. Is that stuff that was in your mind to kind of go, I need to do something fun, so I need some Bean Boozled? Because those are legit expensive. Or did you do that incidentally, or you went out and bought them? And I'm not pushing on you because I'm just curious. What was the motives there? Was it like, oh, I think I'll do this, but I have bigger problems? Because I know you're building an entire stream area in your basement. So I'm assuming that's got a budget, right? Tam says, goes and puts mushroom money in a jar. Yeah. Do you want them to be better? Do you want them to be more effective? Do you want to advertise them? What if you took some money from your stream and every day for a year, every month or whatever, you kept pushing into this account, because then at the end of the year, you could afford a YouTube ad. What if you're like, man, YouTube ads are expensive. Facebook ads are expensive. They cost hundreds of dollars. It's so weird that it costs so much and people are using it. What if you budgeted for an entire year, and at the end of that year, you got yourself a YouTube ad? You're like, I'm just going to throw all this money at an ad because I feel like my stuff is valuable. I did a year of practice. Now I'm going to do an ad. It sounds crazy, but if you want to grow, you need to use money. It's just the way it is. DSW says, I spend a lot of money on the business expensive. When I get money, it pays the business credit card. Yes, that's good. I mean, that's a good thing. It's a little backwards, because you should be spending money you have, not money you don't have. But I know what you mean, and I know where you're at. Okay, number 5. What gets confronted gets done. What gets confronted gets done. I wish it was a basement, but that already been paid for. Payout came right around the time I hit 200 follows. Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, you're not in the basement? I thought you were going downstairs. I thought your kid's room was in the basement. But I don't know, maybe not. What gets confronted gets done. What this means is that you need to be emotionally engaged in whatever the priorities that you have, and you need to be willing to defend them, and to be willing to drop them, and to be willing to argue for them. So, this is organizationally speaking, if you got a mission, you're going somewhere, and this is the direction, the vision that we're going, and someone goes off to the side and gets skewed off to the side, you have to be willing to walk up to that person and go, that's not what we're doing. You have to come back. You have to realign your priorities. If you want to be more effective in your stream, let's just go with streamer, then do you have a feedback loop where people actually confront you, that come back to you to tell you if it was any good? Or do you only listen to positive feedback in the chat about people that really like you? Do you have a loop that comes back to say that your audio was crappy today, your video was a little bit off, your timing was whatever, you could have used a different, do you have a feedback? Because if you don't think that if you think you can grow without feedback or without any kind of confrontation, you're crazy. You have to have some kind of way that the energy that you spend is focused, and often that requires confrontation, a little bit of upsettedness, a little bit of loss on the sides, and for someone to tell you things you might not want to hear. Ukulele says, I can't tell you how many businesses want their people to do X, but there's no confrontation if X doesn't happen. Yeah, I wish we had a cleaner break room. Cool. We should clean the bake room. Yep, cool. Move on. Stop. Like, who's in charge of it? Now you've talked about it, but who's in charge of it? And who knows how to clean a break room? And on what days will we clean the break room? And can we afford cleaner for the break room? And is anybody going to stand up and go, if the break room isn't clean by Friday, bad things are going to happen? Like, if you want it to happen, it needs to be talked about, have training so they know what to do, measured so you know how much they're supposed to do, budgeted so they can do it effectively, and confronted if it's not getting done. Would you create some questionnaire for this? Or do you mean a questionnaire for your streaming? I actually believe it. If you mean a feedback loop for your streaming, yes, I actually have one. We developed in Taco a streamer rubric. What do we call it? A streamer feedback rubric? What do we call it? Stream review rubric. That's hard. Okay, so shall I tip my hand? I'll tip my hand. I'll show you what we do in the actual Taco team. So everybody who goes through the Taco training takes the class, and then for the last 15 minutes, we go through a stream review rubric with them. All 9 other participants fill this out for the one person that we're doing. So they are technical. This is the areas. Technical, as in your camera, your lighting, your overlays, the graphics, the panels. Did OBS work? Did your plugins work? Did the game work? And when it comes to the actual technical side, what was the most captivating part of the stream? And did anything technically distracting happen that would have caused you to leave? That's section 1, technical. Section 2. By the way, this is hard for me to do because this is behind the scenes stuff, but I promised that if there was a way to help streamers, I would do it, even if it meant that I'd be tipping my hand when it came to taco stuff. I promised myself I wouldn't be holding this stuff back. It's to help people. So I'm like, why are you sharing this? Because we promised. We said we were going to help people, but people won't come to the class. No, it'll be fine. They'll still come to the class because it's fine. I'm having this argument in my head. Thank you, Blocker. Interaction. So the next thing we talk about is interaction. To invest. So interaction. So we talk about how responsiveness were they to events, right? When the follows, the subs, the rate, all that stuff happened. Did they show up and talk? Did they have audience engagement? I know, right? Ukulele, I know. I know that up here, or here. Where do I know that? One of the two. These are the ones that are arguing. Audience engagement. Did they engage with the chat? Did they have banter? Did they have energy? Was it connecting to the chat? Jovi's still coming. Yay! We got one person in the class. Interactivity. Did the emotes and the channel points and the bot commands, did everything match the theme? When it came to interacting with the theme and something happened, did it feel like there was a flow to it, as in like it all kind of got together, it was interesting? Or was it all over the map, like my channel? But I'm a variety channel, so I can get away with it. Chat moderation effectiveness, carefully handle difficult chat topics. And the big question here is, in interaction, did you feel welcomed and valued as a viewer? To me, that's the biggest question you can ask if you're a Christian streamer who's being serious about actually wanting to affect the kingdom and love people for on their stream or in their content. Do people feel welcomed and valued when they're on your stream? Like when I came in, Carol, you immediately, and this is hard for singing, and you can ask Ukulele, she sings too. You're in the middle of a song, right? You're doing a song, and therefore you can't just stop and engage with people, right? You're going to keep doing the song. But you were right at the beginning, you were thinking about singing, but you stopped the plan to engage with the raid, to talk to the people, to say how thankful you were. You read some chat, and I could tell you wanted to get into the song because you'd planned it, but you were putting it off to interact with me. And I thought that was really cool because it made me feel valued, right? Pineapple says, I don't even stream, but I found it really interesting. Actually, now I'm finding it really useful as I'm setting up a small house group prayer meeting. Not the same. Yep, they definitely do apply. You're absolutely right. They do apply. Tam says, I know when I give my phone number before I can chat in the stream, I leave. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Some people hate that. But some people have had really horrible experiences, and they're okay with letting people leave if it means they can be safer. So, I felt very welcomed. So content, the third place is content. So we did technical, we did interaction, and then the content itself. Did the streamer have an elevator speech? In other words, did you know why you were on stream? Welcome to the XtianNinja channel. We're building an open, encouraging, and meaningful online family through gaming, real talk, and God's truth for content creators and people that are lost, lonely, and disenfranchised all around the world. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. That's why I exist. If you went to the streamer's place, do you know why they exist? Why do they create their content? What is the whole point? Hi, Changeling. Changin'? Hi, Changin'. Stream focus and consistency. Did the descriptions, the tags, everything match? Or did it not make any sense? I can't tell you how frustrating it is to look through the Twitch stuff and not have a flying clue what you're actually doing on stream because you're trying to be clever in your tags or in your description. Put what you're doing. Am I old? Is that just old people talk? Maybe I'm just old. Streamer speech and attitude seeks to reflect Philippians 8. Do they have a good attitude? Are they honorable, excellent, pure, lovely, commendable? Did they have integrity? Did you catch them doing copyright stuff? Did DMCA stuff? Do they actually own the game, or were they stealing it? Some people do, man. And Christian streamers too. I'd rather get, forgiveness than permission. Then they get copy striked. Did they present their content, biblical content, properly? And then the two questions on here for when it comes to content is, what makes this stream stand out? Like, what's the hook? What made you want to come? What made you want to stay? What were you like, oh, this is the thing. This is the thing they do. What was their hook? So like for Carol, it's singing. Singing is the hook. And did the stream make you want to come back again? That's a big question because so many don't. Tam says positive points. Chovy says, so yeah, I saw Twitch did that. I hope those settings never get turned on for me. Yeah, it sucks, but at the same time, some people really get hammered. Born Again says, I try to keep it short. I'm afraid if my stream description is too long, people get bored reading it. Yeah, but break it up. I'm no expert, but look how I do it. It's, here's the thing I'm doing, ... Here's the thing, ... Here's something, ... End, right? So I think I use it to do the segments of my stream. But, at least it's accurate. It's something. Okay, back to this. What's the hook? Dude, you need one. Okay, so you got to take the class, man. Take the class. We're taking the class. You got to have a class. You need a hook. And the hook comes from your audience, okay? We do so much talking about who's your audience, not the audience that is Twitch. I mean, you specifically. Who did God create you to be? What's your vision, your burden, your passion, your desire, that you can speak into what individual and who is your audience? Because if you can figure that out, that becomes your hook. That becomes, why people come. And if you don't have a hook, like it's like fishing with a string. Fine, you're casting, but what are people supposed to grab onto? What are people supposed to want to be there for? You need a hook. My hook said, I don't know what I'm doing. Just pure chaos. Pure and utter, just chaos. Nonstop. I was doing my head in to make how to make the bio a little more digestible. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you'd go with what I've got down here when it comes to my content and what I wrote in my about. There's a lot of words. I'm a wordy guy. I'm a writer. I'm a wordy guy. I'm a preacher. I'm a teacher. So I use lots of words. So maybe I've seen some clever stuff. Look at Chovy's. I really like Chovy's. It's funny and it lets me know exactly what his vibe is. Just look at his about because it's the exact opposite to mine, but I think it works great for his channel. Okay, last thing. Let's do the last thing. What gets rewarded gets done. So confrontation is important. You know that. You get it. And what gets rewarded gets done. We talked about a feedback loop for feedback. Do you have a feedback loop for rewarding? Do you have a section somewhere where you're going to get rewarded, as in when you get to a certain number, you and your channel and everybody part of it gets to do a fun thing. When you get to a certain number in Patreon, something happens. When you privately in your own head, when you reach that goal, this many followers on Twitter, this is the weight that you finally hit, this is how much you can bench press, whatever it is. Do you have a reward that'll get you there? If you don't reward your people that you're trying to serve, that you're trying to work with, and you don't reward yourself, no matter how much you believe in it, the incentive starts to go down. Do you have a reward? I'll show you an example of mine. This is my Patreon. Any ideas for different rewards? Okay, so I'll show you a bit of my, I'm a pretty big macro guy here, right? So on my Discord, we'll scroll down. I'll show you all the rewards. So on this one here, you get to reward them for helping you. You can get Patreon only updates. You get pick a game, play through, or start a kickoff. You get your name listed in my videos. You get VIP on Twitch. You get Patreon only live streams. You get your name and link on my website. These are rewards that you give to them for following through. And then later, when you look at this, I had here when we got to $500, when he raised $500 for Patreon, I got myself a Stream Deck. Right, I said to everybody, let's make the stream better and make it easier to produce and stuff. So when we get there, we'll celebrate by getting a Stream Deck. Then when I hit the $1,000 goal, we did a Minecraft server for everybody. Man, we're doing a Team Taco Minecraft server. It's insane. It's insane right now. Crazy. So that was the reward, is that anybody who's part of the channel, anybody who's supporting or whatever that we're doing, we're going to be making a Minecraft server so we can go play together. Later, When I get to 3,000, I'm going to get a new camera, because right now this thing here is cheap and I'm hoping to get it better. And so that's mine. And when it comes to rewards, but you can do a little stuff along the way. Like, for example, it's built into Twitch. So if you look up, right where there, if you look up, you'll see that if people keep watching, they can add to a channel reward pool so that they can kick off a marathon stream. Before was they were able to pick a scary game that rewarded them for watching. I want them to watch more, so they reward. I have these. These are 100K stickers. There are people who legit lurk on my channel right now because they want this sticker. That's why they're here. They want this sticker. And so what gets rewarded gets done. In the same way that if you have a really good set of channel reward points that do fun stuff, people will want to stay and use them, right? For you, if you use, and food's not a good one, but if you use, like, say you get to go out to go somewhere, you get to do something, maybe an IRL. How about you do something IRL? I would think that for you, Carol, what occurs to me is this. And I don't know you very well, so forgive me, this might come out of nowhere. I would be incentivized to follow you or to give to you or to patron you or whatever, if I knew that when you got to a certain goal, you'd release a song that you recorded on YouTube or on Spotify or on whatever, your song. I'd be like, I helped get her to the place where she was able to, she put out a song or she put out a thing. Is that the word, patronize? I tried to turn it into a verb. Be a patron of, right? I helped her get to that, to release that song or release that video or to go out and do a music video. Like I was part of that. And then you put at the end all the people that helped you make it. That gives them something to focus on, whether it be your followership or your subscribers or your whatever. If you want it to happen, figure out the reward. That's what, I don't know. That's just my thought. All right. So that's it. This is the thing. I wanted to talk about this because I thought it'd be helpful to you guys, and it would be just something that you can kind of work through. So do you train for, do you measure, do you budget, do you confront, do you reward? I like pop. Do you like butter? I love butter. No kiss. Then you get this. Looks like mellow yellow. Okay, here's what you gotta do. You gotta take this out and you pour it into somebody's cup and you tell them it's mellow yellow, or you tell them it's Mountain Dew. Here's your Mountain